If you didn't see the thumbnail, you probably did. It is how black belts really think. And what do I mean by that? The meaning behind that is the good solid black belts, a lot of training, a lot of years in with this lifestyle. We start getting a different mindset when it comes to threats. More than one, restaurants, grocery stores. Seems like we have a game plan or a scenario that we run through our minds. At least I do, and we kind of. I'm not going to say we have a mindset of Navy SEAL, a Ranger, any military, but we don't think regular citizen either. I think we're kind of right in that middle part of regular citizen and to military. We kind of sit right in that area. The good martial artists that train and have good instructors. I got to put that out too. We get a more of a bigger picture of things. So what I'm talking about is bigger picture in certain threats that come. So I'm going to drag Bob out here in a second, and I'm going to give you a couple scenarios on him. I drug a big wave master out there for like more threats coming to you at once. So let's talk about the first one. All right. So the first one, let's discuss about the restaurants and just the daily places that we go. When I'm going into town, I'll going to the grocery store and everything like that. My mind will go like the first thing I'll do is I would scan everything around me, the parking lot, the just seeing if anything is out of the ordinary in that, and it just takes a quick second just to look around, see if everything is, if life is happening or if there's like a weird situation going on that I need to be aware of. Going into the grocery stores or whatever it is, I start thinking of like a scenario and what I would do if that scenario would happen. And then I would think of a game plan on that, either my escape or potential threat to somebody else. Would I take action? Would I just let it, diffuse? What would it be? And so I would probably check on, within the area. Is there anyone suspicious looking? As I'm doing my shopping, this doesn't take any time at all. You can do this really easy with your daily, shopping or whatever it is. And I would just, make sure that I have my head up and I'm looking around the store as I'm shopping and, staying keeping that awareness. Now, it is very important that it is not. It's being aware, but not scared, and not like well, I'm never going to go there. Then, if this is what I have to deal with, it don't freak yourself out enough to where you're not going to keep living life. It's just we just are in this aware state that if this does happen, this is what we would do, wouldn't do, things of that nature. Okay, restaurants. Same thing. I would scan around the parking lot real quick as I'm walking into the restaurant. Open the door. I'd scan the restaurant a little bit. If nothing really does, like red light sort of thing, then I just kind of take a quick scan. If there is something that kind of catches my eye, then I'm going to keep my eye on that as I'm either going to my seat or something like that. And then I try to put myself in a in a defensive position within the booth or the table that I'm sitting at. I never try to put my back to the front door. I'll always kind of either have it to the side of me, either side, or right in front of me. The back will more than likely try to be, the kitchen area or, a wall or something like that, if I can do that. Sometimes I just can't, and I'll just kind of let it go. I'll be vulnerable in that state. So that's what I kind of do within the area. And it could be going into, really any place. Scan the parking lot, scan the area that you're going in, and then see if there's anything that is out of the ordinary, and then keep that in mind as you do your shopping, and then just be aware of it. All right. Okay, so that's all that. Let me drag Bob out here, and now let's go with the threats of, you either have to encounter a threat comes to you. Let's get Bob's full head in there, even though he doesn't really need it. I kind of like it there. Okay, so full threat. Let me drag this big sucker in there because there's going to be 2 or more people as well. All right. Okay, so there's a threat coming. All right. So say they're approaching me. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get in a defensive self-defense stance. Sparring stance pretty much is what it is. Okay, so if we don't know what a sparring stance is, if you guys are right-handed, go ahead, step back with your right foot, and then your right hand should be your backhand. Okay, so this is my left, but in the camera it should be, or on the TV it should be your right. If it's not, go ahead and switch. But your right hand and your right foot should be in back. If you're the opposite, left-handed like me, left hand and left foot is in the back. All right. Okay, so as we get that, so if someone is approaching me, I'm going to step back, nice comfortable posture. I'm not like, ready to fight, because I don't know what, this individual is, he or she is wanting from me. I just got confronted. So I'm going to step in a self-defense stance, sparring stance. And then what I'm going to do with my hands is I'm going to just pick them up so they're at least bent. Okay. So when I'm here, as you can see, my shoulders are loose. Okay. They're not all tight. They're not, I'm not, second, I'm ready, but I'm just here. I'm just using my hands as I think it's this way, but I'm always kind of keeping my hands up towards my chest area in case 2 things happen with this. Okay, number 1, you're pretty much ready to defend yourself any way you want. Okay, outer crescent kicks, knife hands, vertical punch. You're pretty much ready for action without really being ready for action. All right. And then number 2, with your hands up, if you need to move out of the way because they're coming, then you actually can move out of the way. And with your hands up, it'll make you quicker, and you can kind of, something's coming and flying at you, you can block it easier around your head, your body. Bam, bam. Okay. If your hands are down here like this, you're going to miss it. Okay. So you want to kind of cut it in the middle here and just kind of have hands up. Rest them on your belly, your chest, whatever, and just kind of sit here like this. Okay. This is kind of what I've kind of done through the years, is I've just kind of been like this when I work self-defense and everything like that. All right. So yeah, it works on movements, and then you can counter. Okay. You're faster on your feet. Okay. Now remember, when you step back with that sparring stance or that self-defense stance, you want to be on the balls of your toes. You don't want to be flat-footed, because flat foot means pretty much you get stuck to the floor, and then that's going to be twice as hard to move too, because when you're already bouncing, or at least getting ready to bounce, and you're in a bent knees and you're already in that spring position, it's really easy to get the jump on the attacker. Okay, whatever he or she is going to bring at you, you can defend it, or you can get out of the way before they can even think about what they did or how they did it. All right. Okay, so that would be the first thing I do. Okay, so now let's look at the guy. Okay, let's look at our attacker. He or she, it doesn't matter how big they are, short, small, whatever. I'm going to be looking right in the middle of their chest. All right, okay. No need to look at the eyes. You don't need to stare them down. You don't need to make eye contact with them. You don't need to do that. I don't do that. And so what I would do is I would look at the point of the middle chest to solar plex, and I would just do that. There's a reason for this, though. Okay, so if I want you guys to check this out. Okay, so look at something about your height. Look down a little bit, and then I want you to look at your peripheral vision. How much body can you see when you're looking at the chest? Okay, now I want you to look up at their eyes, taller person. Now look at the surrounding. And it's not quite the same, is it? You kind of lose a little bit of contact on the ground, where you're at. And more of the facial features, they kind of distract you, because they might have, tattoos, piercings, sunglasses, whatever, and your sight might zero in on that, and you kind of lose everything else around you. If you have a bigger part of their body, you can see their arms, you can see their legs, and you can see everything around you as well. So here's the next point, is you need to try to find where a good exit point would be for you to exit, if you need be. Now, if they're just asking you for directions, okay, and non-threatening, then you're okay. But if someone's coming at you and they're doing that, you need to make sure that you see an exit point. And with this look right here, you can do a quick scan around, and I can see things around me, and now you can make your exit point of thinking in your head, as this person's just screaming at you or whatever, be like, okay, I'm moving this way, or I'm moving this way, or I'm just going to step back because I know I'm on a road or a sidewalk or something. I could just turn and run if I need to. All right. Okay. So with that, we got peripheral vision, we got exit. But there's one more, but let's bring in two people now. Okay. We have two opponents. I'm not going to go any more than that, because three just gets a little bit much. You could do it, but more than three, I would just say you got to get out of there. Just turn and run the the fastest you can. Okay, so I'll leave it at 2. Okay, so here's the thing that I still think of to this day. I haven't trained it for a while, but boy, when my first instructor taught me this, it was like it was a game changer for me. All right, and this was just sparring, okay? Because we would used to spar 2-on-1, and we were thinking like, how do we spar 2-on-1? And I might make a video on that now that I think about it. I'll make a video on sparring 2-on-1 here in the next couple of videos. So watch out for that one. But let's talk about there's two threats in here. Okay. Now, if this guy is the loudest, and you're trying to keep your distance, and let's talk about our bubbles real quick. Okay, so our bubble, our personal space, is our arm length around our whole body, and then our leg. Okay, if we got kicks, then we're going to make another circle out right at the tip of our furthest point of our foot. All right, so that's the first layer. That's our first defense, is our feet. Okay, our legs. That's our first bubble. Okay, our second bubble is the hand, as far as the hand can stretch out, and then after that, now they got in. All right, and now I usually just go for elbows at this particular point. Okay, because when you're in here close, and they're just hacking at you and stuff, it's real easy to still just hit an elbow, knee. Like, if they do get into your your bubble, they pass the leg, they pass the arm, and now they're in. I would go elbows now, and knees and elbows, and I would start pushing and just trying to get away from that point. Try not to let them knock you down, but that will happen probably more times than you would like. You trip your feet. If it's snowy or icy outside, you're both going to go to the ground. That's just part of the game of getting in a scrap. Okay, so when you're trying to put distance between you and the more aggressive guy, but then he got a friend, or he or she got a friend, and then that friend starts walking in your 6, and 6 o'clock is meaning you're back. Okay, that's the blind spot on everybody, is 6 o'clock on your back. Okay, so if we have a clock and we're standing right in the middle of the clock, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right behind you, your 6 is a very vulnerable spot, and we need to try to not get people on our 6. Okay, so if this guy is starting to he or she's starting to just bark at you and just try to get you to swing or something like that, and then you see their friend just slowly walk around you. Okay, what I would do is I would just start walking like this, keeping my my sparring stance, but I would just start walking this way and keep the second person right in the peripheral vision. If they leave your peripheral vision, that's when you're in a very vulnerable spot, and you need to make sure you have an eye on them, but then you need to keep an eye on this one too. And if you need to move around, then move it. Don't let them get on your 6. Okay, very important there. Okay, so now, a little bonus. If you made it this far through the video, I got a bonus thing for you. All right. Okay, so what our goal is, if there is an attacker, and there's 2 of them, what we want to do is we want to get these 2 lined up. 1, 2, and then you. Okay, so you're sparring this guy, he or she. This guy's trying to go around this guy, but what you're doing is you're circling this main threat, and this guy, he or she, is just trying to get you, but you're not letting them. Okay, so you always just spar one person. Okay, this person is always going to be trying to get you, but you're blocking him with his buddy's back. Okay, it works so good, and in sparring, it is so fun to get these little juniors tripping over each other and like running around, their friend, and you're just running around, kind of trying to, play keep away sort of deal, like and just kind of let them run around their friend, but always keep a good line between that guy and this guy, and only need to defend one person when it comes to two people. Three, that gets a little more difficult. I haven't really touched on three yet, but I'll make a video on three. See what I can get with three. Okay, so. With that being said, like, yeah, we think differently. We think of a bigger picture, and we see scenarios, and we see more of body language, what their stance looks like, what stance they're in. Are they in a defensive stance? Are they in like just like you can get the jump on them? They're just kind of flat-footed, just blah blah blah, just yelling at you and stuff like that. Like what kind of body positions are they in, and can you get the jump on them before they can, and keep that distance? Keep your distance from that single threat, and then two, make sure that that you can keep both eyes on them so none of them take you from behind. All right, got any questions? Remember, down at the comments, make sure you subscribe. And till next time, guys, train hard, train smart. See you on the next one.